welcome to Beginner Yoga. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to do about a 45-minute beginner yoga class. If you can find some comfortable clothes and a mat or a nice comfortable rug, we're going to begin. And I always encourage people to listen to their body and make sure that whatever they're doing, it's comfortable for them. Range of motion, if you're nursing an injury, be very, very careful and listen to your body. You know your body best. So we're going to begin with some breathing, and we're going to do something called spinal cord breathing. And that kind of helps to wake up the body and it warms up the spine. So we're going to make a soft fist. We're going to take a deep breath. You want to make sure your knees are soft. You're going to open up the heart. You're going to look up. And then on the exhale, you're going to close and gently kind of round your back. So you're rounding your shoulders, pulling your navel in slightly. And then you're inhaling, stretching, opening up the heart center and squeezing your shoulder blades. And then exhale, curl. So let's do 4 or 5 more of those. Deep breath in, exhale and relax. Inhale, deep stretch. Exhale, relax. 2 more. You're just taking this at a pace that works for you. Slow breath in. Take your time as you exhale. Last one, deep breath. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale and tuck that chin. Good, and then take another deep breath. Raise the arms, grab one wrist. We're gonna gently take it over for a lateral bend. And our feet are hip distance apart. Take another deep breath. You're gonna grab the other wrist. Soft knees as you bend over. And then inhale back to center. We're gonna take the hands, interlace the fingers, take the index finger straight up. We're gonna make little circles on the ceiling with the index finger. So this begins to loosen up the shoulders. And the whole body is just moving as you make these circles on the ceiling. And then circle the other direction. So try and keep your ears between your arms as you make these circles, and you can make small circles or larger ones depending upon how you're feeling. One more time, and then release the hands. Take your hands to the top of the shoulders. We're going to make elbow circles. So imagine your elbows are making circles on the walls on either side of you, and you're making nice big basketball-sized circles. Getting some nice range of motion in the shoulders. Loosening up that upper back. Good, and then circle the other direction so the elbows come forward. Good, relax, make sure you're breathing. And we'll do 2 more. And then we're going to take the hands down to the hips, and we're going to do some hip circles. So the whole hip is circling as if you have a hula hoop on. You've got a hula hoop and you're trying to keep it up. And then circle the other way. The hip is the largest joint in the body, so we need to move it. So nice big circles over the feet. And then we're going to bring the feet a little closer together because we're going to bend the knees and make knee circles over the feet. Nice, smooth, soft knee circles. Take your time. And then circle the other direction. Beautiful. One more circle. Slowly standing up, we're going to take our feet a little wider apart. So we're going to come to a comfortable straddle. You want your toes pointing into the corners. We're going to take a nice deep breath, bring the arms halfway up. And then we're going to bend the knees and drop the arms, just cross at the wrist. And then inhale halfway up as you stand nice and tall. Exhale, lower, crossing the wrist. Inhale, stretching. So as you bend your knees, think about bringing those knees over toes. So your knees are bending in the direction of your feet. your toes, and your spine is nice and neutral. Good, so exhale, nice straight back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down, and then inhale, reach wall to wall. One more time. And then from here, we're gonna go into a forward fold. So we're gonna fold forward, taking the hands just above the knees. We're gonna dip a shoulder. It's warming up the back. Inhale, back to center. Take the other shoulder, drop it. And then bring it back to center. We're gonna do another shoulder dip. This time you've got the option of taking the hand to the floor. And then you can also take the free arm up. And then feel free to take your hands back to your legs. Go back into a shoulder dip. Just stay here or lower the fist. Inhale, raise that free arm. Good, bend the knees. Make sure both hands are on the thigh. We're gonna curl up one vertebrae at a time. So we're just rounding up, stacking the vertebrae one on top of the other. We're gonna take our feet and walk our feet together. So we're coming back so that the feet are hip distance apart. We're gonna take a nice deep breath, and then we're gonna take the hands to heart. And we're gonna bend the knees and come into a squat. So imagine you're dropping your hips back, sitting in a high stool. And then inhale, stand up. So make sure that your knees are behind your toes. Your spine again is neutral. Your chest is open. And then you're just dropping back into that imaginary chair behind you. Good, so we're gonna make this a little bit more challenging. As you come down, pressing the palms together, you can stay here. Take the arms straight out so that the arms are parallel to the floor. Here we are in chair. This is yoga chair pose. Take a nice deep breath. Then bring the hands back to the heart. Add a little twist. We're gonna look over to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale, back to center. Now we're gonna take, I have my hands on my thighs. I'm gonna take a nice deep breath. I'm gonna hinge forward a little bit more, releasing the arms behind me for airplane. So my spine is nice and long. My fingers are reaching back. Really working on strengthening those legs. Take one more nice deep breath, and then sweep the arms up. Take your time as you straighten your legs. Inhale all the way up. And then again, take the hands to the heart and press. Good, take a nice deep breath here. We're gonna go ahead and take our hands to our side. We're gonna work on balance right now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna transfer our weight to the right leg. We're gonna take our left leg and just cross at the ankle. We're gonna squeeze the inner thighs, make sure our posture is good. We're gonna inhale the arms up. You wanna look about 6 to 8 feet in front of you. Make sure those knees are soft. You haven't locked the knees, but you're engaging the core. So we're working that core to help us with posture. You wanna be nice and tall, and those feet are grounded to the earth. Now if you wanna work a little harder, you can cross the wrists, and then you can even turn the hands so that the palms are pressing against each other. So remember, the knees are soft, the elbows are soft, and you're balancing. Ankles crossed with wrists crossed, you're breathing. It's all right to wobble. The body will wobble to find its balance. And then when you get tired, you just release the arms, take the arms out to the side, take your time, soften the knees, step out nice and wide so your feet again are hip distance apart. Exhale the arms, and then get ready to go to the other side. So we're shifting our weight to the other leg. We're picking up that leg and crossing it over. We're inhaling the arms, and now I'm going to cross my other hand over the front, turning the wrist, bringing my palms together. If that's too much, if you want to just interlace your fingers and take the index finger straight up, or just the palms can press together, and you can have the heel of the hand just hover at the crown of the head. So if this feels better on your shoulders, feel free to stay here. Make sure that, again, your navel is pulled in. You're lifting nice and tall. You're doing a gentle squeeze of the inner thighs. Now stay here for 3 more breaths. It's all right to wobble a little bit. It's your body adapting to the shift in equilibrium. Good. Take one more nice deep breath. And then take your time as you release the arms. Take the arms halfway. Palms are facing down. Soften those knees so you can open up the legs. Again, taking your legs hip distance apart. So be nice and comfortable here as you lower the arms. Beautiful. We're going to work on some flow, and we're going to start with our Warrior One. So we're actually going to take our feet nice and wide apart, and we're going to work both sides. First the right side, then the left side. So both my toes are facing forward. I'm going to keep that left foot facing forward. I'm going to take the other leg and turn it so it's facing the wall. And then we're going to go ahead and bend the knee. I'm going to turn my shoulders in the direction of my right foot. You're going to bend the knee. You're going to inhale the arms up to the ceiling. So again, watch that back leg. You can take it to 45, or you can keep it straight if you're not going to go very deep. If you want a little wider stance, you want to draw that toe in just slightly to 45. You want to make sure your shoulders are square to this front ankle. And then the arms raise up. You take a nice deep breath. Strong Warrior One. And you can stay here, or you can take your arms to cactus. And again, you can do some breathing. Inhale, open up to cactus, squeezing the shoulder blades. Exhale, close the arms. Inhale, open the arms. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, open. And one more time, exhale, close it up. And then we're going to take the arms out to cactus. We're going to turn. So I'm turning and opening up hips and chest as I take my arms wall to wall. Here we've transitioned to Warrior Two. Take a nice deep breath here. And we're going to go in through a little flow series. We're going to start with the front hand. We're going to raise that front hand up towards the ceiling. Reverse Warrior. And then we're going to take this top hand. We're going to bring it down low. Back hand reaches for the ceiling. So you start to stack your shoulders. You're breathing. We're going to come through Warrior Two. And then we're going to do it one more time. Raise that right arm. And then on the exhale, take it down. You can either rest your hand on your leg. You can take it down lower. The other arm comes over. And it can either reach for the ceiling or take it over next to the ear for right angle pose. Do what works for you. Take your time. And then take your time as you straighten this leg, because we're going to change directions. So when this leg comes into 45, this leg turns towards the wall. I'm bringing my whole body in the direction of the toe. We're going to go ahead and bend the knee. Again, the shoulders are square to the foot. When you're ready, inhale the arms up for Warrior One. So that front knee is over ankle. We're going to do some breathing. We're going to exhale. We're going to take our arms to cactus. We're going to take a deep breath. Start to squeeze the shoulder blades together. On the exhale, close the arms. Inhale, open. Good, and exhale, close. Two more. Inhale, stretch. Stretching the heart and the pecs. Exhale, close. Inhale, open the heart center, squeezing those shoulder blades. And then straighten the arms and just turn and transition into your warrior two. Check to make sure that front knee is over ankle. The arms are reaching wall to wall, nice and strong. This front hand's going to reach up. Follow the fingers up. Reverse warrior. Take this top hand, you're going to bring it either down and just rest it here. Maybe for the first one, you can maybe just take the arm overhead. And then we're going to do it again. We're going to follow those fingers up towards the ceiling. And then maybe this time take it a little deeper. Rest and take the arm up, maybe next to the ear. So here's a nice deep right angle pose. And of course you're breathing. The legs are nice and strong. And when you're ready, you straighten the leg, reach the arms, kind of windmill up. Make sure both toes are facing forward again, because we're going to work on some sunflowers. So it's springtime. So we're going to take a nice deep breath. I want you to bring your arms up so they're in the letter V. And the legs are in an upside down V. Good. We're going to exhale as we bend the knees. We're going to draw the elbows in towards the ribs. And then we're going to inhale, stretch out from the body center. This is called the 5-pointed star. Exhale, close. Inhale, stretch. Good. Exhale, close. Inhale, stretch. 2 more. So as we lower, we drop our chin looking down as the sunflower would when the sun is behind the clouds. But now the sun is coming out from the clouds. We're going to look for the energy of the sun, and we're going to open up. We're going to lift the head, and that's the flower. We're going to exhale again, relax the chin, lower down as the clouds come. And now the sun bursts out. We're going to take a deep breath. Look for the sun. Beautiful. And then come back to center. We're going to bring the hands to heart center again. So you're going to press the palms together. Good. Take a nice deep breath here, because we're going to turn the palms down. I'm going to keep a bend in my knee, and we're going to do a nice little forward fold. I'm going to dive towards the floor. Go wherever you can. You can stop here at the knees, or you can take it down to the ankles for a nice deep forward fold. You can deepen this stretch by walking the hands behind. Or again, any option is good. Holding the ankles. And when you're ready, make sure those knees are bent, because we're going to take our time as we walk our hands up our legs. And then we're going to again round our back, stacking our vertebrae, coming up really slow, one vertebrae at a time. Take your time as you walk your feet together. Good. And then we're going to finish the rest of the class, the second half of class, actually on our mat or on the ground. So we're going to come to one end of our mat. We're going to work on lunges. We're going to work on stretching. So take a nice deep breath. Exhale again. We've already warmed up. Fold forward, hands to the floor. Step 1 foot back. We're in a nice high lunge. We're going to take the knee down. We're going to press into this front foot, coming into crescent lunge. So watch, that knee is right over ankle. And then you can deepen this by bending the elbows again, like we did earlier. Look up and open up that heart center. And then exhale, come forward. Both hands come down to the mat. We're going to walk the hips back. Lift that front foot. Hamstring curl. Not hamstring curl, but hamstring stretch. So this is a deep, deep stretch for the hamstrings. Good, take your time as you lunge forward. This front leg is going to step back. We're going to tuck the toes and come into our first downward facing dog as we pedal the heels. So taking a nice wide downward dog. And then I'm going to drop my hips, coming into plank. So my body's like a board. Wrists are under elbows, elbows are under shoulders. When you're ready, go ahead and bend the knees. Point the toes. We're going to lean forward, bend the elbows, coming into chaturanga. And then we're going to slide the hands forward so that the elbows are directly underneath the shoulders. And from here, we're going to go into seal. So we're going to press into the heel, lift from the crown. It's a seal pose. The feet are about hip distance apart. Remember your breathing. We're going to work on back by doing some locust exercises. We're going to go ahead and lower the elbows. This is Sphinx. We're going to lower it down as we take the hands to our side. Keeping the shoulders and the head off the ground. We're going to see if we can raise both legs. Or single leg. Whatever is better for you. So your fingers are reaching back towards your heels. You're pulling your shoulders away from your ears, working all the muscles in your back. You can stay here for 2 more breaths. Good, now bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. We're going to push up through hands and knees, walk our hands back as we cross our feet and drop into child. Good, and then you're going to lift your head. Take a nice deep breath as you come to hands and knees. So check to make sure your knees are under your hips. Your hands are underneath your shoulders so we can go to cat-cow. So remember your breathing. You're inhaling as you drop the belly. You exhale as you tuck the navel to spine. So you just want to work through cat-cow, loosening up the back. Chin to chest, exhale. Take a nice easy breath as you look up. 2 more. And here's our last one. We're going to release that back. Find the neutral spine, eyes are looking down. We're going to extend the right leg back. Take the left hand forward. Then we're going to take the foot out to the side and the arm out to the side. And then we're going to bring them back in, and then we're going to lift them up, reaching wall to wall. And if you want a challenge, same thing. Take it out into the ear, bring it back in. Good, and then come back to hands and knees. Take the other leg just to the ball of the foot. We take the opposite hand to the fingertips. We take it out to the side, about 12 inches. We bring it back into the center. We point the toe and lift, reaching wall to wall. Maybe you take it out to the side again. Bring it back to center. Take a nice long breath. Good, bring it back to hands and knees. Again, crossing the feet, sitting back. So you can tuck your toes and come into a variation of the down baby child pose. And you can just kind of relax your hips back for this child's pose, or you can take it, of course, deeper, where you lower your chest. Good, and then we're going to inhale, look forward. We're going to come back up. We're going to drop onto one hip so we can transition to sitting. We're going to work on our core real quick. So our feet are about hip distance apart and the toes are lifted. Good, take a nice deep breath, sit up nice and tall. Hands go behind your knees. So I want you to imagine that you're in a lawn chair and you're just going to lean back into that imaginary lawn chair. And then take your time just lifting a foot. Taking your legs up to tabletop. You can have a pointed toe or a flexed toe. We're going to try and take it up here to our boat pose, which is with the ankles and the knees together. The heart is lifted. We're balancing on our sit bones, and we're gonna go ahead and reach the fingers towards the toes. Bringing those knees nice and tight, close to the chest. Do the best you can. Take a couple deep breaths here. And then go ahead and lower those heels. Take it down nice and slow. We're gonna take the hands actually to the inside. We're going to walk our hands forward so we can relax and stretch the back. Good. And then as we sit up, we're going to take both feet to one side. And then we're going to go ahead and put our hands forward, returning to hands and knees. But at the beginning, when we did our lunges, our right leg was forward. Now we're going to step our left foot forward. And then we're going to go ahead and adjust our feet as we press into that front foot. We're going to go into our Crescent Lunge. So the arms are reaching straight up. We're making sure that that front knee is over ankle. So it should be the opposite leg forward. We're going to go ahead and bring the arms to cactus. We're going to squeeze those shoulder blades as we gently look up. And then we're going to exhale, come forward. And then we're going to go ahead and slip those hips back. Try and lift that front toe, coming into deep hamstring stretch. And then we're going to go ahead and lunge forward, bringing both hands to the inside of that leg. Walk that leg back. Again, we're just going to drop the hips so we're back in a seated position, a comfortable seated position. So we're going to work on some deep stretches, and we're going to go back to the sit bones. So I want you to find your sit bones. Again, reaching underneath your knees. You're going to take a nice deep breath. You're going to sit up nice and tall. You're going to point your toes. Good. As soon as you find your sit bones, see if you can lift the toes off the ground. Good. And then taking the legs to tabletop. So you're again back in your boat position. We're going to take the arms out to the side. We're going to just do a couple little light pumps. Engage in that core. 4, 3, 2, 1. Grab the knees. Go ahead and lower the feet nice and slow. Take your hands to your hips. We're going to glide the hips forward towards the heels. We're going to come down onto our elbows. And then you're just going to take your time as you roll down onto your back. So this should be really comfortable. You're just relaxing your spine. Your shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. Our hands are at our side for balance. Good. And our ankles are underneath our knees. We're going to go right into bridge. We're going to press into the heels. I want you to keep your tummy nice and tight. We're going to start to lift the hips, shifting the weight to our shoulders. Make sure those hips are level. Now we're concentrating on that lower back. We're going to stay here for 4 to 5 breaths. Listen to your knees. If it bothers your knees, drop your hips a little bit. But if this feels all right, keep those hips nice and level. We're going to take a deep breath. And then we're going to slowly lower it down one vertebrae at a time. And then once we come down, we're going to take one of our knees and hug our knee in towards our chest. You can stay here. You can extend the other leg. That extended leg can lower because we're going to take the opposite hand to the bent knee. We're going to go ahead and fold it across the body for a nice lower back stretch. So what I'm trying to do is keep both my shoulders on the ground. The other arms are out extended. You're deciding how far you want to cross that knee over your body. But this should be comfortable in your lower back. Take one more nice, slow, deep breath here. Good, rolling back onto your back. We're gonna switch legs. So the other knee comes to chest, the other leg extends long. Stay here, just relax. When you're ready, one arm comes out to the side, the bent knee is facing the ceiling. Your opposite hand's gonna take that knee and bring it across the body. And nice and slow until you feel some resistance. Just relax and enjoy that stretch. Good, coming back to center, that knee comes back in. We're gonna bring both knees in this time. We're gonna hug the knees to chest. We're gonna do some nice gentle circles. So now we're just massaging that lower back. Circle the other direction. Extend both legs up towards the ceiling. A little bend in the knee, the feet are flexed. We're going to walk on the ceiling. It's just good to transfer the blood flow instead of from the head down to the feet. Take it from the feet and down to the body. So any time during the day, if you can elevate your feet, is a good thing. We're doing a little scissors movement. I call it walking on the ceiling. And then from here, you can bend your knees even deeper. Reach for either the ankles or the outside of the foot. Some people like to take their index finger and middle finger, clasp the big toe for happy baby. You do what works for you. It's a wonderful lower back stretch. I'll stay here for 2 more breaths. And then we're going to go ahead and take our time as we release the feet. We're going to take the feet to the ground. We're going to come up onto our elbows. And we're going to work on some nice deep stretches. And we're actually going to start with one foot crossing just above the knee. And then taking the hands behind you, you're going to bring your foot in towards your body. So this is just a wonderful hip stretch that you can do sitting. And if this isn't comfortable, you can always return to your back and do your hip stretch here. Whatever works for you. But if you're doing it in a sitting position, remember the closer you get your opposite foot to the hip, the deeper your hip stretch will be. So this is the foot that controls how deep your hip stretch is. And just crawl it out if it's too much, if it's bothering your knee at all. We're going to slowly straighten that leg, and then we're going to let the foot fall on the outside of the knee. We're going to take the opposite hand, hug or hook, and we're going to look back for seated twist. Good, and then coming back to center, the legs are straight. We're going to take the other ankle, cross it over the knee. So you want to make sure you're above the kneecap. Hands are behind the hip as the heel slides up. And just take your time. This might be all as far as you want to go. If you don't feel a stretch, just bring that heel in a little bit closer. Try and relax, take a couple breaths. And remember, you're free to go onto the ground and then rest on your back and come into a nice deep hip stretch there. If that feels better. Let's take one more nice full breath as we stretch through the hip. And then we're going to straighten the bent knee. We're going to go ahead and drop the foot, take the opposite hand across the bent knee, and then this back hand is our kickstand. We're just looking over the shoulder. And remember, you're breathing and everything's relaxed. Let's take 2 more breaths. And then as we come back to center, we're going to make sure both legs are straight. We're going to flex the feet. We're going to take a deep breath and sit nice and tall as the arms come overhead. Here's our staff pose. So the legs are active, the core is active, the arms are active, everything's working. Stay here for 2 more breaths. And then slowly take those arms down. We're going to bend the knees. We're going to make sure that both knees are facing the same direction so we can go into deer pose. So we're going to walk our hands around. We're going to go ahead and look back over the shoulder. And then returning to center. Feel free to bring your feet up so that they're flat on the floor but nice and wide. Do some windshield wipers. And maybe this is all you want to do, is just keep your feet nice and wide apart, taking the knees right to left, just gently rocking from side to side. But if you want to do deer pose on the other side, make sure the knees are facing the other direction. Our body's going to twist. We're going to look back over the shoulder again. Good, returning to center, we're actually going to bring the soles of our feet together. And we're going to tuck those heels in. I want you to grab your feet, relax your knees open, and do a little butterfly. So we're just gently relaxing those knees. Trying to get Get those knees closer to the floor. Good, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cross the ankles. We're going to do one more hip and lower back stretch by taking the hands in front, walking those fingers forward. Now you're going to stop as soon as you feel some tension. So it could be right here, could be deeper. And then wherever you are, walk your hands back towards your body. We're going to walk over towards our right knee and we're going to fold. And then take your time as you gently walk over to the other side. You're squaring your shoulders off to the knee, and then you're just gently folding in. And then we're going to come back to center. I want you to pick up your right arm and bend the elbow, bring the hand midline to the back, just between the shoulder blades. And the other hand can come behind the back and just rest around the lower back or the middle back, or you can try and touch the fingertips. It's called cow facing pose. So some of you can interlace your fingers behind you. Some of you can maybe just touch your fingertips, or just wrap one hand around the waist and the other hand is just between the shoulder blades. And then we're going to release. So this hand's going to lift up. You're going to bend the elbow, just take it behind. And so I'm at the upper part of my shoulder blade. This hand's going to either just bind at the waist, or I'm going to try and bring the fingertips together. Some of you will be able to interlace your fingers behind you. Wonderful stretch for the shoulders and the triceps. And then take one more nice deep breath. Release the arms. Take your hands to your side. We're going to take one arm up and over the head for a side bend. Make sure your hips stay anchored to the ground. And then inhale tall. This hand comes to the floor. The other arm reaches up. You could stop at the ceiling, or you could continue over. And then you're going to inhale tall. Take your hands, bring them in front as you interlace the fingers. We're going to round the back as we press the palms away. And then we're just going to make some real gentle little circles in front of the heart. Keep that back rounded. And then circle the other direction, relaxing, stretching the spine. Then take a nice deep breath. Both hands are going to come to the knees. We're going to sit up tall. We're going to take a long breath. Palms come together. We exhale to the heart center. So I want you to give me 3 more at your own pace. Deep breath in. Exhale to the heart. 2 more. As you Turn to the heart center. Keep your hands in prayer at the heart. We're going to take a final cleansing breath. Just allow yourself to be in the moment. Notice how your body's feeling. Connect to your breath. And I'd like to wish everybody namaste. Thank you for joining me today. Have a wonderful day. Hope to see you next week. We'll be doing a chair class.